Uthai Thani is a city that is not changed in 50 years. Only just under 2 hours from Bangkok, Uthai Thani seems like years away from the busy life of the big city. Good morning. It's really early in the morning and I am in Uthai Thani by the river, and then there are these rafts that people live in. Today we're going to come and see how people live along the river Sakae here. And you know what? It's beautiful. It's just a throwback from years ago, and people here are just wonderful. You're going to see a lot of things that I haven't seen in Bangkok. So enjoy it. On this peaceful river called Sakae River, people live simple lives along the river. Yes, they actually still live on these rafts. Not just a few, but many. I'm staying at Payamai Resort along the river on Tepo Island. We are giving alms to the monk who will be arriving to receive alms by boat. Everyone who stayed at the resort turned up early to do this. After giving food to the monk, he blesses us and is on his way in no time. How simple but pleasurable. Well, it's time to go to the market and see what's there. Uthai Thani Market is a very simple place. Everyone knows each other by name, and there's a great sense of community here. No expensive imported products, only those that are grown locally on the land or in the river. Uthai Thani still keeps a tradition. You know, they don't put everything up on a table to sell. But what happens is that she sits right here, and what she does is that she puts it on the ground, on the tarmac, and then sells it. But it takes you back hundreds of years ago, when this is how a market should be. We don't think about hygiene too much, but you get the feel that this is real, and people grow their stuff, throw it on the ground and said, come buy it. There are lots of freshwater fish in this town. That is because they only use what they need and keep everything in the community. There are fresh fish, sun-dried fish, and also smoked fish. Right over there, that's where they're going to do the smoked fish. All the way in the back, right there. Now we're on the raft on the river Sakae. in Uthai Thani. And you know what? It's so wonderful. It is so simple to make smoked fish. First, you clean all the fish you want to smoke and size them. Skewer the fish in bamboo sticks and dry them in the sun. One or 2 days until the fish is dry enough. Then lime them up in a smoker and light the coconut husk under the fish until smoky. Then cover it with bamboo mats to keep the smoke in. It will take from 40 minutes for small fish to smoke or almost a whole day for large fish to get smoked. This is a wonderful place to cook. And we're in the middle of the river and I'm going to cook an infusion soup that uses the fish. First, I'm going to have to start by putting shallots, okay, garlic, and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to roast the shallots and garlic in banana leaves. This is the roasted garlic and shallots, but I need to show you how it's done, that's all. Nah, look, it's so beautiful. Slice the galangal and with a persuader, it's called a mallet from the mortar and pestle. Whoops! For the smoked fish, we want to break its neck and beat it with a mallet to get the meat of the fish off the bones. In Thai soups or cookery, we just don't use any stock. Put water in a pot and bring to boil. Why do I have to roast it? It concentrates the flavor. It smells much better because there's no more liquid in there. So it evaporates and all the flavors and all the scent gets concentrated here. Add galangal and kaffir lime leaves to the pot. Add the smoked fish meat and the lemongrass that has been bruised. Then add more smoked fish. That is, if you are rich. These smoked fish are really expensive. I like my soup really hot. So here goes the bruised dry Thai chili peppers. Season with fish sauce first. Taste it again Add tamarind juice. And to make it sharp, add a little lime juice to it. Then you ladle the soup into a bowl, top with torn kaffir lime leaves, and remember, you have to eat this with rice. Lotus have been grown in Thailand since the beginning of time. Lotus flowers are tied up with the Buddhist religion, and it is used in Buddhist worship and teachings. Everyone have a lotus pond on their land, and they have known for years that the stems is edible and quite delicious. It's easier than growing vegetables, and to harvest them, you merely have to go down to your pond in your rice field and then pull out the stems with the flowers attached. We're going to make a very Thai soup with lotus stems. Let's go! You just take a little knife and you peel this off slowly, as far as you want to. Then you break it here and it will come back the other way. That's it, and it's ready to be cooked. First, you make the paste by adding white peppercorns in here, shallots already sliced up, and then you pound it until it becomes a paste. And a rough paste is already done, and all you need to do is put in shrimp paste, a little bit into here, and then you pound it to make it into a ready, except I cheated already. I had them do this for me already, okay? But this is just as good, okay? But I just want to show you how it's done. You put this clay pot, in the olden days we only used clay pot, on the stove, and you add coconut milk to it, and you bring it to boil. You wait until it comes to a boil. While you wait, you cut this up 3-inch length, okay? In the olden days we don't cut it up. What we do is we just break it off like this. See this? And I have to bone the mackerel, the Thai mackerel, the pickled Thai mackerel. So I'm going to take the bone out. I don't use the head, I just want the meat of the Thai mackerel. That's it. Take the other side out. Is cut it into very large pieces like this. The coconut milk is almost boiling. So all I do is add the paste to it. I just want to taste it a little bit to see the balance in terms of a flavor. And you know, it's just like milk when it boils, it comes up, the volume increases. You need a little bit of body. So I need to stir it, and I'm going to put a little pieces of fish in here. And now it is time for you to season it. Okay, you don't want it to become completely soft. And now you start seasoning it. First, you taste it first. I'm going to add a little palm sugar to this. It should not be sweet, but it should be natural sweet, like the sweetness of milk or coconut milk. Okay, mix it in until everything is dissolved. This is fish sauce. And in everything else in Thai cookery, you have to add something that is acidic last. This is tamarind juice. I'm going to add the tamarind juice now, which will cut the greasiness of the soup. I'm sure this is right. It has to be saltier, more sour and more sweet than it should be because it's eaten with rice. But if you want to eat it as just as a soup, then it should be a little bit more mild than this, all right? I'm gonna ladle it into a bowl. Here, a plate. And this soup yeah, it's really good. It's not greasy, it's not too rich, it's just so balanced.
How lucky am I to have come to Uthai Thani when they're celebrating their Chinese God once every 3 years. And today, that's the day. The Chinese have settled here in Uthai Thani and lived peacefully beside Thais over 100 years. They have become businessmen, traders, and owners of restaurants and businesses. Rong Ya Lane, or Trok Rong Ya, was once a place where they used to have opium dens.
This is a celebration of the Chinese gods. So basically the celebration, everybody goes around and then dress like, hey, and dress like a dragon. See the legs?
No Cow Shop or Dove Shop has kept all memorabilia and photographs of what old Uthai Thani used to look like.
Hello. You see, this is how they just preserve the old city of Uthai Thani. And everything here, especially this street called Trok Rong Ya, is kept the way it was 100 years ago. Over 100 years ago. Just come with me, I'll take you around and I'll show you all these places that are just so wonderful, and it's quite a throwback, and it tells you how we Thais used to live.
Aerial photographs of the city and even photographs of visit by our king years ago are here. At Sakyat store, they preserve the Chinese people way of life in Uthai Thani in the past. Chinese coffee makers, china from the olden days, and even wooden basket to measure rice for sale. Since there are so many Chinese living here, the food here is also Chinese. There are steamed Chinese dumplings, steamed Chinese buns with pork stuffing, steamed buns stuffed with black beans, or even steamed buns with barbecue pork. There are bakeries here also in Uthai Thani. Bakeries are a rage in this town and in Thailand. This shop is known for their custard stuffed baked breads, which is called Khanom Pang Sankaya. They make all kinds of stuffing for breads and even try to make them look really cute. I even tried to stuff the bread with the custard on their machine and fail miserably at it. My bread exploded. This place has been here for about 60 or 70 years. And each time I come into this town, you have to stop. This is braised duck. And it looks as if it's roasted, but it's braised duck. And it's so good. So I'm going to ask them if I could taste it. And you know, look, it still looks great.